you can just kind of chat, and then people can join in live mid conversation,
Beautiful.
if they are. Um, but yeah, no, I'm excited to talk about this. This is like, it's one of those things that you like. There's that saying of like, I left my 9 to 5 to work 24/7 as an entrepreneur, and it's like, I don't want
Too
that.
real. No, yeah,
I
yeah.
I've lived that for sure,
Yep. Same.
and we do not want that for people. And
No.
yeah, whenever you offered up this topic, I was like, oh yes, I definitely want to talk about like how to set aside time where your business isn't just like complete shutdown,
Yeah.
you know, windows barred up and everything,
Hmm.
but that your business is still going while you get to take a little break. So
Yeah.
I'm very excited to talk about that. Very excited to chat with you. Before we get into like that topic, there's a question that I like to ask my guests, and to be honest, I haven't done this in a while, and I don't know why. It's just like, it's still one of my questions, but for whatever reason, I haven't been asking it, and I really love this because there's always like such great insight. Not to like put the bar really high for you or anything.
Oh gosh.
But like, through your career and just life in general, has there been like a lesson that you've learned, or a tip, or some advice, or something that you were just like, oh, like epiphany moment, this changes things, and it just changed the way that you look at business or life in general?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I think there's been a lot of moments all the time and like kind of every day where I'm like, wow, how am I learning the same basic thing again? But
Yeah.
I think from a business standpoint, a couple of years ago, and now I can't remember like where I heard this, read it, listened, whatever, but it was like the concept of like, hey, you are not the best at every single thing in your business. And I think at that time it was in regard to, like, I'm a photographer, so it was in regard to editing, where I'm like,
Hmm.
do I literally think that I am like the best editor in the world? Like, okay, when you ask the question, no is kind of a clear answer.
Yeah.
But I felt like I was running the business as if I was. So just like re-asking that question over time has been really like eye-opening and game-changing for me, because I feel like the more people that I can bring into my circles who are smarter, but like smarter than me, better at XYZ thing, it's just like it feels like the world just explodes with possibility then. So yeah, that's been really fun.
Yeah, that's like a big mindset to get over,
Yes.
especially as like, I'm a firstborn. My
Same.
parents were entrepreneurs, kind of like, it's whole story. But I did an interview with my dad a couple years ago, so anyone can go back and listen to that
Oh,
for
I want to
more
hear
in
it.
depth. But like, they've been entrepreneurs for like 30 years, so it was kind of like, I grew up in that. I was homeschooled. It was what I knew,
Hmm.
uh, and that kind of like, I had the idea of like, oh, I can do everything. I should
Yeah,
do
totally.
everything.
Hmm.
And yeah, once I learned that, of like, oh yeah, I'm probably not the best at editing. There are other
Hmm.
people that like really enjoy it,
Hmm.
and they're like, that's what they want to do. And
Hmm.
I can give it to them, and they will be like so fulfilled being able to edit photos the way that I want them edited.
Yes.
And then I can do the things that I'm even better at in
Yes.
editing, like,
I
taking the
know.
photos in the first place.
It's mind blowing. And you get to provide a job for someone who loves to do that thing, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Like, I'm a numbers person, and I love going through numbers, and I used to do all these spreadsheets and stuff and have
Hmm.
graphs for all of my taxes and like how many cups of coffee I bought over the year, which has just become sad now, where I'm just like, that is way too much money on coffee. I'm not going to do these graphs anymore. But like, I used to do all of that. And then I was like, I don't have to do all of my tax bookkeeping stuff.
Yeah.
Even though I'm good at it, there are
Hmm.
bookkeepers, there are
Yeah.
CPAs that
Yeah.
this is their job, and they've got it like down to a science,
Right.
where I can focus on the things that I have down to a science
Yeah.
instead of doing those things. But
Yeah.
no, I think
Well,
that is so
yeah.
good.
I think it's just like the mental space that it's cleared up for me has really been the most like continuously mind blowing thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. The mental space of just like, I don't have to worry about this. Like
Yeah.
another professional
Yes.
is taking care of this. I can take care of what I really want to do right now.
Right.
Uh, yeah. No, I love that. Okay. Can you give us, Mycah, give us a little like background of where you are, what you do? You mentioned you're a photographer, and this is mostly a photography podcast, so that makes sense. But like for the listeners, give us a little background about you.
Yes. Yeah, so I started my photography journey back in college. This was like pre iPhone, pre Instagram days, and I was gonna live in the Middle. Well, I lived in the Middle East one summer, and then the following fall in Uganda in East Africa. So I was like, I better get a camera, may as well. So I
Right.
took one photography class, bought a little Canon Rebel, you know, spent spent the time traveling and living in the Middle East and Uganda, and had so much fun creating and telling stories and capturing people and like these beautiful places. And I was like, oh my gosh, National Geographic, who is your
Right.
next person? Like, call me up. I mean, a completely unfounded amount of confidence. But my parents like always told me that I could do anything, and I think I just really believed them. So I credit a lot of like my, I don't know, like opportunities and support and success to them, because I've just felt like, yeah, I can try it. So I did. I loved it. Came back to the US. I was living in Santa Barbara, California at the time, and started assisting at weddings, just like carrying bags, like then second shooting, then started a business, fast forward, did a bunch of weddings, moved back to Minneapolis. And over the last couple of years, I have like relaunched my business, kind of like restarted my life in a lot of ways. And um, now I have a team of 10 women, and we do a lot for, we do a lot of like weddings and families and seniors, but I've also transitioned over the last couple of years, and I now get to focus a lot on like businesses and brands, corporate events, that kind of thing. Which has just been like really fun evolution for me. And then along with that, I do business coaching for other entrepreneurs, and I have a couple of properties. It's like another business, some Airbnbs and stuff like that. And I'm starting another little side business next month. So TBD on the
Not
details for that. But well,
yeah, not enough
I know the
businesses yet.
details.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That's a lot of businesses. That is a lot going on.
It
So
is.
yeah, you definitely needed that delegation mindset of like, okay, like once you got that time back doing the things that you want to do, it's like you can start all these other businesses and
Right.
like,
Well, I
yeah.
mean, even I was thinking about my day today. Like, I met up in person with this client who, like, I mean, this was our third, maybe fourth in person meeting over like 4 months, and we still have not booked something. So it's like a way like slower process than my kind of preferred approach. But I'm like, I really see where it's going, and I want
Mhm.
to do that. And like, even the time to like chat with you. Like I currently have I have a new 5 hour week personal assistant. Like, she's here somewhere else in my home working on some other projects that I completely can do. I'm very capable. I've done them myself for forever. And you know what? She's doing it so we can chat. And that is like so exciting for me. So that's been another like kind of next level of this like mindset shift, where I'm like, okay, just because I can do it and have done it doesn't mean I need to always do it myself.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man, that's like everyone needs to hear that because we feel that like as entrepreneurs so much, like we feel that so much of just I need to be doing all of this. This is
Yeah.
my business, my baby. I'm going to do everything.
Right.
And it's like you can hire someone
Yeah.
to come in and do the day-to-day tasks
Right.
to do some things to free up your schedule so you can
Totally.
focus on other things.
Yeah, and even like I was sharing, like that kind of the mental clarity that it provides. Like I'll just share a small example. Like I'm not passionate about cooking. Like, can I do it? Yes. Do I like to do it? I don't.
Mhm.
Maybe I will in the future, but I don't. And so my new personal assistant has done like just a very minor amount of like some meal prep, made like one or two things last week, like super fun. And then over the weekend, I was very intentional. I'm going to take a true weekend, take the time off. This was not even like I spent a lot of time outside, which I love. I was feeling really rejuvenated, and I ended up making dinner one night. And not only did I like it, not only did it taste good, but I was like, wait, this was like a fun experience that my partner and I got to like enjoy together. And that has honestly like not been the case for months, because usually when it gets to dinner, I'm just like so exhausted. I'm like, I don't care. I'm so hungry. Like, I will eat cottage cheese out of the tub, not interested, And it was like so fun to have like the little bit of time, space, energy to be like, wait a minute, we can have a good time cooking and eating. And I think that was possible because I had like over the previous couple of weeks been like just clearing up more of that mental space.
Yeah. Yeah. Because whenever your mental space is cluttered and you're always thinking about so many things, like I talk to a lot of photographers about like having those boundaries of like 5 p.m., that's the end of my workday.
Yeah.
I'm not thinking about the photos that I need to edit. I'm not thinking about emails I need to reply to. Like I'm trying to step out of photographer John and into family John,
Yeah.
to where like you're able to like free yourself to where you're not constantly lugging around your laptop and like you're cooking and you're also replying to something
Totally.
over here, or
Totally.
working till 2 in the morning because you're pushing everything off and all that. It's like you can bring in other people to help you, and
Yeah.
usually by the time that you get to the point where you're like, I really need to bring someone in, you are completely overwhelmed and you have no headspace to like go through the hiring process.
Totally.
So
Yeah.
like do it early if you
Yes.
can.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah. But no, I love absolutely love cooking it, but
I aspire to be you.
yeah,
Teach me your ways. I need the
I
energy to like it.
it is the energy. I love like trying new things, and like
Yes.
we've got like a whole Pinterest board of just like we try and do a Pinterest dinner once a week where it's
That
just
is
like this
so
is going to
cool.
be something new. We haven't tried this before. We're going to, make something whatever. This last week was fried pickles and they
Oh,
were
fun.
delicious. It was just a quick little thing and it went with our food, but it was delicious, and now it is going to be a staple in our house
I love
because
that so
they were
much.
so good.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, like the everyday, it gets to 5 o'clock and then you're just like, what are we doing for dinner? Did
Yes.
you put out anything to thaw, or do we need to prep this? Or, oh, we forgot about, the broccoli and
Yeah.
now it's like turning yellow in the back of the fridge. We can't
Yep.
have that. And it's like,
Mm-hmm.
it just gets into, well, let's order a pizza again. Or
Right.
I'm going to make something that I don't want and I'm already hungry while I'm making it. So,
Yep.
like, having that time on the weekends to
Yeah.
just explore and do
Yeah.
fun
Yeah.
things is great.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah. So talking about time, you take off a couple months every year,
I do.
which is for a lot of photographers, for a lot of entrepreneurs, probably sounds crazy. Where it's just
Yeah.
like, how do you take off time without just everything crumbling in on top of your business, and like the leads shriveling up and just it all going away?
Yeah.
How do you set yourself up? uh maybe like let's talk about like how can we prep to do that, even if it's
Yeah.
not going to be like a 2 month spread, even if it's just
Sure.
like having a week off
Yeah.
to go on vacation or something.
Yeah. And not stress that everything is going to fall apart.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I think for me, over a couple things really have helped. Systems, a team, and automations, I think would probably be like the biggest summary. And then also, um, like I think I would say like the self-control or self-trust to know that like I'm not saving lives, and like I can put an autoresponder, and like, yeah, I might not book something that I could have. And you know what? That's okay.
Hmm.
Uh, So I think probably I would say a mixture of those types of things. I think if someone is like thinking about this for the first time ever and they're like, okay, I want to go on a vacation with my family for a week and I don't want to work. I think it's very doable in small steps, like catching up, like prepping, catching up so you're not coming back to like being a day away from a deadline. Like get your edits out, get stuff delivered so you can go away feeling good and confident. And then as far as inquiries, like having, like right now I have it for each type of project that people inquire with me, they get an auto response right away with like a brief amount of info, a link to either book or schedule a call depending on the type of shoot, and then of course they can reply. So even when I'm away, if someone's inquiring on say Tuesday of my week-long vacation, they if they're checking the response that they get immediately after inquiring, they can glance it. Okay, yep, sounds good. Oh, I can schedule a call. They can schedule a call. Oh, I'm not available that week. They can schedule for the following Monday. They don't know why I'm not available. They might think I'm just totally booked up, which great. Then it looks like I'm in high demand. And, if they really needed to have a call during that time and I wasn't able to do it, like, yes, there is a chance that you could miss out on a project. But like, I feel like just because you're not doing one thing doesn't mean you're not going to do anything else again. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
So
And
like,
there's always a chance that you're going to miss out on any project because
exactly. How many
they
times
may
have
be
we done a call and they didn't
inquiring.
book and you thought they were going to? And
Yeah.
I just saw on my wedding's Instagram account, like 3 inquiries had gone to the others folder over the last few months. And like, I swear I checked that, but like, okay, so did I miss out on those? Maybe, but also maybe they were never going to book. I don't know. I mean, it's a bummer for sure, but like, what's the point of like losing sleep over that?
Yeah.
To me, there was no point.
No. Yeah, there's no point. It's just like, oh, well, that is a bummer. Like I recently, like last month, I got an email from like a wedding, it's not Wedding Wire anymore, but it's like whatever Wedding Wire and the Knot have merged into become. And they were just like, hey, you have like 1 day left to respond to this inquiry before we archive it. And I was like, what inquiry is this? Like, I don't even check Wedding Wire anymore. That like that's
Totally.
just there for reviews, I guess.
Yeah.
And I went over there and there were like 6 leads that had just been sitting there. One of them had come in like January, like 6 months earlier, and I was like,
Oh my gosh.
okay, well, awesome. And at first I felt really bad about it and I was like, well, this is terrible. Like it makes me look bad because I ghosted them and then
Right.
they're going to have that idea of like that's how I work and yeah, I just ended up sending everyone a message back and being like, so sorry, I didn't get notified of this. I'm assuming you've probably already booked someone else, but if not, love to chat. And there was one of the 6 that was like they had been there for like maybe 2 months and they were like, yeah, we actually took a break from planning, so we're starting to ramp back up, we would love to chat. I'm like, cool. And I could have just written it all off of just like feeling bad and moving on, but instead I was like, I'm just going to be honest and like say,
Yeah.
hey, sorry this happened, it wasn't
Right.
me.
Yeah.
But yeah, like there's that whole feeling of missing out and that you're going to lose whatever, and like that scarcity mindset of I need to book every single thing.
Right.
And that is something that is really hard to get over, especially in the early years, because you are trying to book every little thing to
Right.
grow and to bring in income.
Yeah. Totally. Totally.
Yeah. So, I mean, kind of talking about income as well, because I can feel the listeners being like, okay, that sounds great. Like I have systems in place. I have an autoresponder with some, resources and stuff. How do you plan for like maintaining income during those months
Yeah.
when you're not like physically working in there? Do you pay yourself just like a flat fee throughout the year, or is it kind of like a lot of entrepreneurs where it's like that roller coaster of busy months you get paid a lot and then slow months you get nothing?
Yeah. Yeah. I am in the process of shifting my systems this year because like I said, I started a new properties business last year, and I'll be honest, my finances just kind of got very unorganized. And so I hired a new accountant, a new tax person, like finally have stuff mostly organized over like months of working on it. So over the next year, I'll be doing more of like paying myself like a monthly salary, so it's consistent. Um, but I would say in past years, I haven't really done that. I think I've more just like planned and know. And I also typically plan my time off during, like, I'm in Minneapolis and work is typically slower January, February into March. So
Yeah.
that is intentional, because even if I was working, like, I probably would not be making like that much money. You know what I mean? Especially compared to like right now, like July, August, September, October is like go, 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 go,
Right.
go.
Yeah. It is busy season.
Yeah. So I would say planning for that, and just like I don't know. I think it probably also plays into more of like spending habits, being very aware of like what you are spending both business wise and personally. Like over the last year, or maybe 8 months, I've started using like the Rocket Money app, like no affiliation, just it seems good for my personal spending and tracking. So that's been, I just feel like knowledge is power, you know, like I might, like,
Yeah.
I want to know what I'm spending on each category, both personally and professionally. And also this year, I was like, you know what? I'm investing a ton in my business. I'm going to really pull back on my personal spending. So I cut out a ton. And I was like, you know, at first it was like a little shift to get used to it. But then after like a month or two, I was like, wait, this is like not that hard. Like when you just kind of adjust to a new shift.
Yeah. It's like,
so I think that was
is
like
okay.
good. Yeah. I'm like, I'm really not missing out.
Right. Yeah. And I think that is like, that's the key, is when you have those really, really busy months, when you're going through the busy season where you're working every single week and you've got all this money coming in, is like, don't just go blow all of that money and just be like, oh, I can go upgrade my whole camera system and I can buy this new fancy 2.0 lens that everyone's talking about. And like all of these things, like, sure, you can budget for those kind of things, but don't just like spend all of that money to where during the slow season it's like, well, now I can't take time off. I have to go out there and
Right.
work because I don't have that savings from before.
Yes, totally.
Yeah.
So I think it's like, I don't know. I think you have to take some time to think to yourself, like, what do you care more about? Like, if you want to buy all of the cool gear ever, like, great, you should do it if you want. And then you're probably going to take less time off, which if that's what you care more about, then that's what you should do. Like, I don't think there's necessarily a right or a wrong way, but I think it's more about like figuring out what are your priorities and values, and then what steps can you make to like make it happen.
Yeah, no, that is, I mean, just like you said earlier, like that knowledge is power. Like when you know your numbers, it's really powerful because you can take that knowledge and then use it to move in the direction that you want. And the same with like knowledge is power when it comes to what do you want. And I
Yeah.
think we get like stuck in the hustle mode of just like, I'm just pushing forward. I want to work. I want to grow this business. I want to, hit six figures or multiple six figures or whatever that next goal is. And it's just like, we're always looking at that next goal and moving that line in the sand of just like, I want to get to there and I want to get to there, and not having that rest or really any time to just sit and think, what is it that I really prioritize? What should I be prioritizing right now? Should I be prioritizing some rest? Like, do I need that? Should I prioritize gear? Should I prioritize education and going to conferences and workshops and all of that? And like, yeah, once you actually ask yourself those questions, it can help you figure out like, oh, I probably should, like, that would be great if I could take off a month next year to just like hang out with the family and maybe take a couple week trip and like road trip down the West Coast or something.
Totally.
And like those kinds of things that maybe you wouldn't have thought of otherwise, or you would think of and just be like, well, now I can't do it because I have booked myself too fully.
Yeah. totally. And I think like anytime people are thinking that because I think, you know, when people hear that I travel so much and take off time, they're kind of like, I think can have that thought of like, oh, it must be nice. And it's like, well, thank you, it is.
It is, yes.
And also, like, what is your dream and what can you do to like take one step towards that? Because like our dreams don't need to be the same, but like if you're like if you have a dream to take your family on a week-long road trip, like I think you can do it. I think it will take some planning and organization and, you know, but I feel that that's like a very achievable dream for people to do. I think it's just like people, I feel a lot of times don't prioritize what's the most important and just let other things take over their lives, you know, and then all of a sudden you look back at your year and you're like, what happened, you know?
Yeah.
And that's not how I want to live. So that's why I've made like a lot of choices to just be super intentional about how I'm spending my time and energy and money.
Yeah. And doing it where you want to instead of where you assume that you should be as an entrepreneur, or even like bringing in the corporate mindset into your business of just like, well, whatever values I had at my 9 to 5, that's what I need to be focusing on here. But yeah, I mean, really just taking 10 minutes to like even put it in your calendar. I have to do that sometimes of just like, I just need 10 minutes to like brainstorm this and think about it and just talk to myself about what do I need, or even like set up a day to go, you know, grab a drink with a friend who also needs to think about this, and then y'all can both talk about like what are your priorities with your business, plus you get to hang out with a friend, which is always fun. Yeah. Okay, this is so good. What have you seen any benefits from taking this like an extended period of time off, other than like, you know, rest and recuperation?
Yeah, for me, I think it works really well for me for a few reasons. Like I have a bit of a harder time like jumping between like work and breaks, if that makes sense. Like even throughout my day, like this is not meant to be advice, but like I don't really like taking breaks. Like because once I'm in the zone, I just want to like go crank, get it done. And then when I reach evening time, then I want to be rest mode or whatever. So similarly to weekends, I think it's harder for me to get in and out of tasks. Like when I'm in something, I am like so focused, like I can just go all day, for better or for worse. So because of that, when I look to take time off, like sometimes even a weekend is hard for me to like get in the zone and the mindset of rest. So I think when I'm looking at, you know, like 1, 2, 3 months off, then I have time to really enter that rest mode. But I also like, I'm not just like sleeping or like watching TV. Like I have each year I have different kind of like goals or focuses. Like one year I got like yoga certified. Like I've done a ton of traveling. I've like pursued new hobbies and interests. I'll maybe like make a list of goals or things that I want to do. And like, yeah, there is definitely going to be more slowness and rest in there as well. But I just feel like there's so much to life outside of work. And I think I've always really had that mindset. But then I think a lot of people just think that they're going to have as much time as they view as their ideal years of their life, you know? And like,
right.
I don't know, like that's just not the case. You know what I mean? And not in like a fatalistic or like a morbid way, but it's just like, we all assume we're going to live to 80, 90, 100, 110, whatever we think is our ideal age. And like, nobody guaranteed that. So I don't want to like, again, I hope I live to be a super old lady, like traveling the world and being a cool grandma. But like, if I only have 6 more months or 1 more year, like I want to live my life to the fullest, both work and like interests, passions, hobbies, people. Like I just want to like go all out. So I think that's another thing that I just kind of like keep in mind I don't know. So it may be a little intense, but I also think it's real. So
no, I think it's really a really good mindset to have, because a lot of people, and just kind of like how society has structured things, is like, well, you work until you're like 65, and then you retire, and then you get to have all the freedom and like go on cruises or whatever 65-year-olds
Right.
do. And it's like you can do all this stuff then, but right now it's hustle, grind. You're going to work
Right.
for 40 years
Right.
and then have a break. And it's like you can schedule breaks in. You can schedule that travel. If
Mhm.
you wanted to go
Mhm.
see the Grand Canyon and you've been wanting to do that for 10 years, like set it up. Like
Yeah, get in your
figure out how
car.
to do it. Yeah.
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 Like I think that is good. Like just giving yourself the freedom and the permission to take breaks and
Mhm. Mhm.
to like set up your life for how you want to live it,
Mhm.
and not try and do what everyone else is doing. Like I love
Mhm.
that you mentioned how like you are just like you're focused and you're just going to work until the evening and then have that free time. And that is great if that works for you. That's also the best for me because I have tried the like take little rests in between
Yeah.
and like
Yeah.
sit down and like watch a 30-minute show. And then I'm like, now I'm on episode 6 and I have wasted my entire workday.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like that is me. And other people is like, they can take little 15-minute power naps and then just jump right back into work.
Right.
Like if I lay down, I'm not getting up until
Yeah.
tomorrow morning. So,
Yeah, and I think that's just about, like, knowing yourself. Like, again, I think that
mhm.
the approach that we're talking about might be, like, someone's worst nightmare, you know? But, like, other things that people like, a lot of my friends like to co-work, and I used to like that a few years ago, but, like, I don't like it anymore. Like, I just get super distracted. I'm like, "Let me just be
I'm
done, and then let's
I'm too
go
chatty.
play." Yeah.
I will just want to talk the whole time.
Yeah, then I'm just
Uh,
fake working.
yes, yeah. I'm just like opening and closing tabs
Yeah,
and just
yeah,
like typing on there. I'm like, okay, well, this was not productive, but it was good to
yeah,
see you.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I love this. This is so good. What are a couple things like kind of last words for the listeners of just like if they're wanting to move into scheduling some time off, what is like a baby step, something like a good first step for them to do to start setting up this to where their business can work without them there, or that they
Yeah,
can actually plan some time off.
yeah. I mean, I think super baby step would be, like, just a block, like, depending what your current work looks like, make sure you, like, take off, like, an evening, take off a
Mm.
Friday, just, like, schedule it off, plan your week around it, like, just something, or if you want something even smaller, like, think about something that you've been meaning to do but haven't prioritized. For example, this summer I had this idea of like watercolor painting outside. I'm like, that just sounds so fun and whimsical. It was reaching the end of the summer, hadn't done it. Is this a big commitment or a big deal? Not at all. But I was like, clearly it's not going to just happen. So I like texted 2 friends and we were like, hey, should we watercolor paint on this day? They came over, we sat on my patio for an hour and painted. And I was like, okay, I did something that I wanted to do. And like that was actually during the
Yeah.
workday, but it was like, what? Okay, nothing fell apart, nothing. So like these
Right.
tiny little things I think can be good to start. And then it's like, okay, if you're a wedding photographer, like take off your weekend that's off, like take it off, you know, or like
Right.
it's a upcoming holiday, like you don't have to work on the holiday. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like just starting with these tiny, tiny little things and then envision like what would it look like for you to not check your email from like 5 o'clock today till 8 a.m. tomorrow? Nobody died. Like we're in a really fun industry. Like there's not such thing as like an emergency really in for the most part in what we do. Like I got a client who recently emailed me subject line urgent. Was it urgent? No.
No.
You know?
Like I
But
just
I
want you
took
to
care of
open this
her.
up.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah. No, I think that's good. I think a lot of times like we think that everything is urgent, especially when it comes to like new leads
yeah.
coming
Yes.
in. It's just like, well, I need to get back to them within 20 minutes or someone
Hmm.
else is going to get them. It's like, possibly.
Right.
Yes. They could go with someone else
Hmm.
because you waited until 8 a.m. the next day to get back to them. But the odds are they're probably not moving that fast to book someone.
Right.
And if they reached out to you, they want to hear back from you. And if it's waiting 12, 15 hours from,
Hmm.
5 o'clock to 8 a.m. the next day, I think they'll be okay. and
Yeah.
they
Well,
they
and
probably
like,
haven't put a deposit down yet.
yes, and what's the price that it's going to take on like your family, your friends, like
Hmm.
yourself, like I don't know. I don't think any of us want to be known as the person who's like always on their phone. At least I
No.
don't. I'll speak for myself.
Yeah. Yeah. Plus having that automated email that as soon as they
Hmm.
fill out that form hits their inbox of like, can't wait to
Yeah.
get to you. This is like, even telling them, like, mine says this is an automated email. I wanted to get this to you as soon as possible. Here's some resources. I'll
Yeah.
be in your inbox within the next 48 hours. So it's like
Right.
they have those expectations set.
Yes.
They're like, oh, okay, well, John's going to get back to me within 2 days.
Hmm.
So I don't, that's cool. I'll just look out for
Yeah.
it.
And I think people respect the boundaries, like
Hmm.
it's, and if they don't, they're probably not a great fit.
Probably not. Yeah, to be honest. Yeah, especially I find that with like Gen Z couples, they are all about boundaries, and they're just
Yeah.
like, yeah, take your time, do what you
Hmm.
need. Like, we're here, we'll hang out, and like all the millennial couples are just like, now I want it.
Yeah.
Just show up for me. Like,
All of us
I feel
millennials
that.
will hopefully be like, we'll be phasing out on the wedding phase or wedding
Yeah,
scene.
yeah, yeah. Or just like getting married later and just also chill, where you're like, it's
Yeah.
cool. I'm, late
Mhm.
30s.
Yeah. It's a
Let's
different
have a low
energy.
key thing. It's a
Yeah.
different
Hmm.
energy for sure.
Hmm. Hmm.
But yeah. Okay. Well, Micah, this has been so great.
Yeah. Thank you, John.
Before we wrap up and like tell people where they can find you online and connect and all of that, there's part of the show that I love to do where we talk about what we're loving this week, and it can be literally anything: a new book, TV show, movie, new food, whatever. What are you loving this week?
I think this week I'm loving the color orange. It's just like bright, it's fun, it's poppy, it makes me smile.
Nice. Are you a
And
Taylor Swift fan?
well, also that, yeah.
Okay.
Yes. So very, very excited about the new album, of course, coming up. And then
Nice.
also I've been loving sitting in the grass. Like I recently didn't have my phone or anyone with me for like 20 minutes. I was waiting for someone to pick me up from, I went kayaking and it was like a one way kayak. And I
Mhm.
sat and I watched the airplanes and I played with some grass and I was like, wow, how have I never done this?
Right? Yeah. It's so great to just like sit
Yeah.
and just look around.
It's not my go-to in any way, but I was like, all right, this is good
No.
for me.
Yeah. I'm always like, there's always something for me to do. I'm always like,
Yes,
oh, well, I could be working on this, or I could be
for sure.
thinking about this. Or let me brainstorm this idea that I was having the other day. But yeah, just sitting there, especially just like feet in the grass,
Yeah.
just bringing in nature. We've had
Yeah.
a lot of storms lately, and
Mm.
it is my favorite. I love it. I just will walk outside and just stand in the rain and just watch the trees just like waving back and forth. And there's like a couple willow trees in our backyard, so they're just like
Ooh.
very, like, anytime a breeze comes by, it's just they move so much.
Ooh.
And it's just so great. I love just watching the rain. And we also weird side tangent, we have a mystery plant that has just popped up in the like dead middle of our backyard.
Amazing.
And I went to TikTok because I was like, I think this is a squash maybe, or a pumpkin or something. I was like, can anyone help me? Like, it's starting to bloom, and like we might have a pumpkin plant in our backyard.
That would be
And
amazing.
that seems to be the consensus from most of the quote unquote experts on TikTok. Um, there's just a bunch of pumpkin emojis in the comments, but
Well,
but yeah, it's just spending time in nature is so good. Just
mhm.
unplugged.
Yes.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I even did that this morning. I had like my uh, annual like doctor's appointment, and I
Mhm.
was sitting in the lobby waiting to be called, and I went to go pull out my phone, and I was like, no, I'm just gonna sit here and just like look around.
Yeah.
And I looked around, and I was like, every single other person is just hunched
Yeah.
over looking at their phone.
Yeah.
and uh and I was just like looking at the really intricate design on the carpet. I was like, I wouldn't have noticed this. Like
Totally.
this is so different. I even took a picture of it because I was like, hey, this is different.
Yeah.
But no, I love that. I love unplugging.
Yeah. I mean,
Let's
it
see.
fixes most that's like my top tech solving advice is like turn it off and turn it back on. I'm like,
Exactly.
weirdly enough, seems to work for us too.
It
Just
really
shut
does.
down,
Yep. Take a
come back
break,
to life.
unplug, come
Yeah,
back.
unplug. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Let's see. What am I loving this week? I'm loving oh, I watched a new show. It's a show out of the UK. I love anything airplanes.
Mm,
Like a show that's like set on an airplane or around it. Like I
mhm.
loved Lost when that
Okay.
was out,
Yeah.
and then I think there was that uh Idris Elba show a while back. I don't remember. But this one's called Red Eye, and it's like a 6-part miniseries, and it's just like things happen on a plane, and there's a mystery, and people are trying to figure it out. And it's like
Ooh.
a really long flight from like New York to Hong Kong or something, and it's just
Uh-huh.
like a lot of different like twists, and you're like, oh, I think it's probably this person who is doing this, and you're like, oh no, it's not that person.
Mm.
And I don't know, I love a good mystery, I love a good airplane something story. But yeah, Red Eye, I think it's on Hulu is where I
Okay.
watched it. uh,
Cool.
but yeah, it was pretty good.
I like
um,
that.
but yeah, well, Micah, where can people find you online? Where can they follow along and connect and all that?
Yeah, I'm over on Instagram, Mycah Bain Photo, Mycah. That's probably the best place to find me. And would love to chat. Send me a DM. Tell me what you're up to, and here to support you.
Awesome. Cool. Well, I will have that linked in the show notes for everyone so they can go connect. And
Perfect.
but yeah, Micah, thanks so much for being on the show.
Yeah, thank you, John. This is great. And enjoy your day.
Thank you. You too. Thanks everyone for being here and watching live, watching the replay, and I'll see you for the next one. Bye y'all.